Commando. I'm always doing that.
Welcome to today's
we started?
session. Yes. Not sure what you just caught there, guys.
I hope not much.
It was Brad talking about going commando. I'm not sure what relevance that has to me. But before we talk about anything, including Brad going commando, check out niche website builders. The link is below if you're interested in any of the services that these guys can help you with in terms of growing, scaling, or just doing the whole bloody thing for you when it comes to affiliate websites. Because we actually had a call today, Brad, and Adam was saying the amount of domains that he's bought as well, and he's never done jack shit with them. How many have you done that? Like, there must be 99.
A shit ton. I couldn't even count. Like, I remember I was on a call with it was either Namecheap or Host Monster is my very first like registrar that I ever got, just because that was the hosting that I picked. And she's like, "How do you keep track of all these domains?" I was like, "I don't." She's like, "You've got like 70 in here." I was like, "I know." So yeah, I've far lost count. I've lost more than most people could manage. Like
yeah. Well, I have literally had thousands over the years.
Yeah.
And I can honestly, hand on heart, say 98% of them never even had a fucking website on them. Not even a pager. Oh, dude, frightening.
Yeah.
I used to
Most of the time I would throw at least something up there because I could use them for GMBs, or like when I was especially in the EMD days, like I was just gobbling up EMDs. Like if the EMD wasn't available, I would try and put the state like the shorthand, the abbreviation at the end of it. And I'm like, oh, there we go. Fucking Becker back in the day. He's like, yeah, just get an EMD, throw it up. If the EMD is available, it's easy. And that's what I was basing my SEO on, was like just throwing up EMDs and letting them run.
That's when I started it in the old days.
Loved it.
And I would have a phone call from like a plumber or whatever. Like, yeah, I want plumbing in Glasgow. And I'd never hear from him again. But I would just go out and buy all the fucking domains.
Yeah.
Not just for Glasgow, but all the other main cities in the UK. You're like, fuck.
Then I discovered Mass Page, so I was able to do more with less at that point, because I would just buy one central domain and do a bunch of cities on that. So
yeah, I'm too lazy for that shit. But talking about lazy, Dirk, how did your talk go in London? How was it received? I've not actually spoke to Mike. Mike actually
might be dead.
Yeah, he's got COVID for the 17th time.
At least.
Yeah, he's had it way more than anyone I know. And people laugh at me. I've had it 3 or 4 times. Can't remember now, but this dude's got it every other week. Sacklane, good to see you as well.
Nuclear is the word that I used, by the way. We're going to go nuclear today. If we have enough people on. Can you tell how many people are watching live? If it's above or below average?
It's below average today.
Well, we won't cover anything then.
It's but people are still coming in. It's still only 5 past. We don't normally fall in here until 5 past.
That's true.
But we are here to answer your questions, folks. But Dirk says the panel went okay. Very limited knowledge, though. Had to keep it PG. So no bukkake story, no nothing like that.
Very limited knowledge is how you would describe me, usually.
Glenart from SoCal.
Great. What up?
Glenart. Mike was there, Dirk. He was there with Adrian and the usual suspects.
Oh, he hooked up with Leo, too.
Yeah, Leo. Mike hooked up with Dooley and stuff as well. So he hooked up with a few of the UK guys, but I think he was only there from like Wednesday till Friday or something, or Tuesday till Friday. He wasn't there for long.
Monday through Friday is what he told me. I think, but Monday I think was a travel day, so he wasn't there. So.
That's a write-off. Fuck that. Yeah. You get there, you're fucked. Yeah. Especially that time difference. So, Dirk, you should have messaged him. I'm pretty sure he must have came to see you talk. To be fair.
To be fair, I doubt Mike listened to anyone talk.
He was there in person, but he wasn't listening. We'll go for that. Ali has a question. What's your opinion about site made for affiliate with the last Google updates?
How are your affiliate sites doing, Craig?
Fine.
You're good then.
So mine's are fine.
I don't do much affiliate or enough to, say either way. So I would defer to you. But yeah, all the rehab stuff that I've got going is still, which way would it be? Up and to the left? I think that's
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good.
It's depends on what you're talking about though, Ali. Have you got too much commercial content on there? Have you got a nice...
What's your ratio right now? Commercial to informational?
Probably, if I'm being honest, probably 65-35. I know a lot of people talk about this 80-20 split.
No.
That's not feasible in a lot of cases.
80% commercial or 80% informational?
No, informational.
Oh, no, there's no point. Yeah. Might as well not even do the site if you're not making money on it. Unless you're going to sell it based on traffic. But,
yeah. It's... but with that, Ali, have you got the right persona, EAT signals and all that kind of stuff? And Sacklin asks, does EAT matter?
It does.
I think so.
It matters across the board. If you're doing SEO, it matters.
It's you've seen the December 2020 update. People would know about us page. Their website was literally obliterated. So as far as I'm concerned, it does. But other people saying that doesn't, whatever. But I believe it does. And something I've worked very hard on for myself as well, building up, the PR and the knowledge panel and all the speaking shit is all with a view to...
It's all traffic back to your site.
Yeah. So it's not easy, but I think it does matter. Maeve, hey. Where have you been hiding, Maeve? You've not been on for a few weeks.
Or maybe she was on briefly last week.
Yeah, she
got more important shit to do.
Like what? Making money or some shit like that?
Yeah. Well, we set the bar pretty low, so there's a lot that's more important than us.
Stephen Buchanan must be talking about you and Mike here.
Yeah.
What's up, fools?
He's talking about me and the dogs.
Any new background stuff going on there?
The dog's moving. I haven't added anything, I don't think.
I mean, it's certainly massively improved. I'm not sure that TV was always there, was it?
It's been there for a while. It was here before the bookshelf. Remember, because I had the desert theme, and then I put the desert background on the TV one day.
Yeah.
So.
But what is this room? Is this just your working room?
It's my office. Yeah.
Your office. And
it used to be before COVID. It was the playroom, and then we converted my office downstairs into kind of the schoolroom. Plus, with the kids always being home, it was downstairs, right by like the kitchen, living room area. So I moved a desk up here just because everyone was telling us it's going to be 2 weeks. So moved a desk up here so I could be away from the kids while they're they could handle their school, I could handle work. And then I kept getting pissed because like I would move, like it would be just like they would little kids take the toys out and dump out the bins in here, and I have to like clear all that shit out so it's not like right in the background. So I was like, I'm gonna give you like 3 more chances. If you eat up those chances, this is my office and not a playroom, because we call it the ploffice for a while, playroom and office. And then we hit that mark, so I moved all their shit out of here and slowly started to. Then we did all wood floors upstairs, so it's nicer that way. It's a pull-out couch for if anyone comes over and shit. So it's a office / guest room when people come over. But I like the office so much now, I try and avoid people coming over at this point, so I don't have to move out of it. So 100% office now. This is my man cave. So,
or an AI generated room background.
That's it. No, I wish it was that easy. So, did you see Google's market cap went way down because they tried to rush their AI last week? Did you see that fumble?
Yeah, I've seen or heard, but yeah.
It just spit out inaccurate information, just like a lot of search results and shit. So Microsoft's would have done the same thing, and Bing, but they prepared more, and they knew it was going to be correct as they went through it. It was more prepared. It's just hilarious that Google had to rush that out for some reason in their heads.
So Sacklane is saying, how can I prove EEAT for affiliate sites if I don't have a real address and number?
You don't need an address and everything. So E is essentially building your authority within that niche. So how are you going to do that? You could have an active YouTube channel. Like, look at everything Craig's doing for Craig Campbell SEO. He's got what all properties do you have? You have Facebook, YouTube that you're constantly, Instagram. Do you do TikTok at all?
Them all.
Yeah. So it's all these entity properties are funneling back to his primary website, and it's just building authority. And another way to build it is just more content that establishes your authority within the niche. You know, if you've got one article on meth addiction versus 20 relevant articles all interlinked on your site, who's going to be more authoritative for meth addiction? You know, it's going to be whoever does that. So there's
PR and stuff like that as well, doing podcasts, webinars, all of the shit. Also go to calicube.pro, I think. He will get on there. You can look at trusted sources. So depending on whether you're in America or the UK, some of those trusted sources might be slightly different. And obviously the trusted sources from a company to a person do different. There's some differences there. And that gives you an idea of where you need to be listed on as well, whether that be LinkedIn, Crunchbase, IMDb, and so on and so forth. Trigger that knowledge panel, Wikidata, all the other bullshit that's out there. Get on them all, dude. And every business should be treated like every website property will eventually probably have to be treated like that. And it's a pain in the ass. And of course, there's some shortcuts, some ways to cheat along the way. But it's got to be done. Simple as that.
Yeah, create everything, include it in your same as. That's about the only time I use schema. Interlink everything, distribute the content out everywhere, and let it rip. If I'm doing just an affiliate site that is just a network site, I'm going to go and I'm going to order all the social properties, have them interlink them, and then have them tie it to my feed on the website. And just fill out the social that way so it looks active, and then that's it. So do that in all your network sites. That's why we say treat every site as though we're a money site. But no one listens to me. So do what you want.
Craig, do you use AI content for affiliate sites or information websites? I am playing with it, the same as everyone else. I am doing AI only for an informational website. And yes, it's working for now. Whether that works for the long term remains to be seen, though. I don't want to sit here and advise that you use it or don't use it. Either way, I think you've got to do your own testing, play around with it. But I'm not just copying and pasting it from ChatGPT or anything. There's further processes, further edits to the content. But Brad will tell you he literally shits out content, donor content, shits it out, and it's
That's not even AI. That's just spun.
Yeah, just fun. So, can you get away with any of this stuff? Of course you can. Depends what you're doing, how you do it. But Brad there is into his mass page and shitting out all sorts of stuff, and somehow he's still able to pay to do that nice background. So it must be working. Someone's got to pay
credit cards.
So your choice, Sacklane. The risk is on you. There is a certain element of risk. But
what do you think, Craig, about your pillar style content, like your main pieces in the center of your hub? Those are legit article pieces that you actually spend money on. And then all the supporting, like why this, how that, shit like that, that's going to be posted on the site that you don't want to spend a ton of money on. What about doing that through an AI generation tool like a hybrid style. I haven't, I just spin everything for the most part. But I didn't know if you've tested that or if it matters or,
I mean, I wouldn't say I've got a proper hybrid model just now. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've used Jasper and I've stolen bits of people's content and
borrowed
and all the borrowed donor content. So, and that's worked for many years. You can't reinvent the wheel all the time. You've just got to borrow the wheel sometimes, and that's always worked fairly effectively for me. But at the moment, I am not doing a hybrid or anything with AI. What I'm doing is just testing how hard I can push AI first, and then further down the line, I would expect that if I can incorporate that somewhere and I've got 100% confidence and it's sticking, then of course that will be the hybrid model. But it's just fucking around with it to see.
That's also the benefit of having the mini net or having a network of sites. You can have sites that are 100% AI generated content, and it doesn't fucking matter. Like I was having my bot guy do something, and he's like, "Well, Google's gonna be able to tell the difference with this shit, sooner or later, and don't put it on your most important, or don't put it on your money sites." I said, "I don't have any money sites. They're all network sites. I don't give a fuck." So it's just, that's the benefit. You can test in the wild a lot with the mini net stuff. So do it. Who in here that's watching and that's actually commenting and paying attention has actually, since we've started, how long have we been doing this, Craig? 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, has actually sat down and built out at least a network of 5 sites. Post yes, no, F you, roast Brad, whatever.
How many people? So obviously you've got the mini net training thing, which
and it's basic, but yeah.
How many people actually finish that and actually do something?
I never look because it's free. But I know people sign up for it, so hopefully they go through it. The hard part is people overcomplicating it, not actually doing it. 10 sites, nice. It's a network. If you got 10 sites, maybe are they built out, hosted, all that? If you're testing, I still consider that a network.
I gave away my course for free at the start of COVID, and 91% of 50,000 people
never finished.
Never finished it. That's how high that was.
I believe it.
Insanity. And it was
I never finished stuff either. But the mini net training is so simple and so easy to get through. You've just got to my fat ass before I lost the weight in there because it was recorded so long ago. Actually, someone called me a dipshit for putting out old content. Did you ever hear that?
No.
Yeah, they called me a dipshit for putting. Well, your content that you just put out is 3 years old. Yeah, I know, but it's still relevant, and they called me a dipshit because of it. So I won't mention any names, but you know who you are, fucker.
Dude, I had similar. I was asked by the guy that owns Legit, Chris Walker, to put up a couple of my favorite legit gigs. Some of that was I can't remember, but blog commenting was in there. There's a blog commenting guy that I just
love blog comments, yeah.
And the people are going, "What fucking year is this? This dumb motherfucker saying this, that, the next thing." I'm like, the fuck? Mind your own fucking business.
It works. Where do you use comments? Do you use them to thin out Anchor, or do you use them somewhere in the tiers?
A bit of both, to be fair. But it's all it's always for indexing more than anything else.
Because if it's a blog comment, then theoretically that should be indexed. So it's got a crawl budget on that page. So it's going to crawl that page and then crawl through to your site, and it's going to index. It works.
It's not like I've ever said, dude, this is your link building strategy or something. Of course not. But you know what the people are like. They're fucking crazy. And I think I was called worse than a dipshit in that instance.
Well, it's an effing dipshit, but I'm trying to keep it clean here, for the people. It's a family show, really,
And Stephen says,
The fuck.
D-F-U-Q, the fuck. Put a U in there, F-U-Q. Sounds like a t-shirt idea. Why not? Why not? Maeve has a lot of tests. That is a network. David Hennessy has 4 sites. 4 is better than none, David. Taking action is what it's all about. Does Bard will kill the info blog? So is this Google Bard?
Not so far. I mean, they've had RinkBrain out, and that's AI. I don't see why it's such a big deal to Google that Bing came out with an AI integration, because they've been using AI for years, and that's what they said. And then they hurried this presentation and looked like dipshits for real. But and I know what they have is better than what they showed, but they just rushed the presentation. It wasn't as good of a presentation. It doesn't say anything about whether their AI is better or worse. But yeah, I don't think you come out with good info. I mean, someone's going to have to fucking win. They're still going to have search results. So, and Google gets paid when people click through to the fucking outsource, outside sites, a certain percentage of stuff, when it makes sense for them to keep the searchers on their site, they'll do it. When it makes sense and it's more profitable for them to be the click-through or the interstitiary, that's when they're going to do it. It's all about the money. So no, I don't think it'll kill the info blogs. Put out good info blogs. If your blog gets obliterated, it's probably not good enough in Google's eyes. So
F.U. Kyle Starkey says he keeps testing and burning sites, but he's just found you guys. Send me the link to the course. What is the link? At mininettraining.com.
Our music just came on. That's weird. You hear that?
Nah. No, I can hear something actually.
Yeah, one sec. I'll be right back. That's weird. Keep talking.
But I think it is mininettraining.com, Kyle Starkey, that the guys have got. If not, just go to nfgseo.com/7 and just get them through that, and they will give you the link somehow. And Sacklane, you must have been one of 9%. I think it was 91%.
Home Alone and the music freaking comes on. That was crazy. It was the Google Nest in my kids' room.
That's weird.
Testing and burning sites.
I'm assuming they're not in.
No one's here except for me.
Fuck's sake, that's freaky.
And the deadbolt's on too. It was me and the ghost. So
anyway, what is your link to Mininet Training?
It's mininettraining.com, right? I think.
I thought that was it. I have already said that. So check that out, Kyle Starkey, who's representing Colorado. And Seb T says,
I've got the Colorado shirt. My wife went to Colorado. That's how I got this.
The course that I gave away at the beginning of COVID. So I gave away a free basic SEO course, which is all in my YouTube channel now. All of the videos are on there.
You did another free course recently, didn't you? Or is that the same one where it was free something? It was about getting clients or something?
I don't even know.
Or was it the SEO one? I don't know.
I've done a course through ODYS, which gave away, I don't know if it was free or for a small fee. I don't even know, dude. There's an affiliate marketing one kicking about. There's a black hat one kicking about, and the basic SEO course as well. So, yeah, but it's all on the...
Such a giving person.
Did anything to try and pimp myself out on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
The way I seen it, Brad, is this. What frustrates me about courses, and it's probably why you give away courses for free as well, I really get frustrated when I spend, 100 hours putting a course together, and then some douchebag goes and sells it on a torrent website for $5 on my behalf. So if anyone's giving my shit away cheap, it will be me.
That's the biggest thing, because we've done... Since the first NFG event, we've done, various courses out there. And when it's funny, whenever you team up with someone, the first time it gets leaked to was it the Warrior whatever, not Warrior Forum, but the other one sounds like Warrior. And it's like they get all pissed off. They're like, I'm going to take down the site. I'm going to do this. I was like, there's no use. You're not going to be able to fucking do shit. You know, you can't get them to take it down. Good luck. You know, but yeah, it's always funny when the newer people that are putting out information, they get pissed. So
yeah, I leveraged it in a different way, gave it away
yeah.
for free, and somehow still make money. So it worked in my favor. David is asking, if you were both starting your SEO agencies from scratch again this year, what would you do differently for the first year?
Niche down. Only target that niche, whatever niche it is. Make sure it's a niche that you hopefully have experience in. Like if it were me, I'd be rehab all the way. And look for an angle that is outside of what everyone else is doing. Like Mike and I had a ton of success selling content plus linking before everyone was selling content plus linking. We even worked with a company. We were essentially their white label. I helped them sell a bunch of clients, and then they thought they had their process down, left us. We watched the clients that we were working on with them go like from here and then back down, you know. And then a close friend of mine actually owns part of a rehab agency. So he knew the guy that we were working with. So it was funny because he popped on a call. They're like, hey, we've got a sales presentation to watch. Go ahead and watch it with us. And this dude pops up that we used to work with. And the guy that I know, I was like, oh shit, I know that guy. So he like slipped out of the room before the guy saw him. He's texting the other guys in the room. They're like, where'd you go? He's like, I know this guy. He learned everything from, you know, Brad and Mike. And they're like, nah, you're bullshitting. He's like, if he mentions content and linking and having a very simple strategy, then you know I'm right. And then like 2 seconds later, the guy's like, yeah, we've got a very simple strategy. We keep it simple. It's content plus linking, and that's it. We keep it as simple as possible, blah, blah, blah. We went through our whole spiel. So we essentially trained their staff, and they're like, holy shit, you're right. So, but yeah, simple offering, niche it down, and have clear deliverables if you're starting an agency.
And for me, I would add in there, I built myself into the business, which was crazy from the get-go.
Yeah.
Everything was surrounding me. I would change that straight away. And saying no to certain types of clients is really, really important. Again, I would grab everyone. I was just desperate to make money. And, you know, if a guy came with $200 or $2,000, I was grabbing them all. And
what about offering services that you don't actually, or agreeing to do services that you don't normally offer?
I had this conversation with a dude last night. Web design was that fucking service. Yeah. Now, I offered it with a view. My mindset was get the web design done and you'll get the SEO. So I wasn't really looking to make a lot of money on it, but the amount of fighting and time involved in middleman in that process.
Honestly, what I learned from doing web design is by the time I finally fucking finish a website for someone, I never want to fucking talk to them again.
Yeah.
Like ever. I never want to hear your voice again. No offense, but some offense. But yeah, I was so tired of dealing with them, and like it's like pulling teeth doing a web design project most of the time. And I was undercharging too. Like what was did you do sites for 200?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I remember it was I still had the day job and everything. I was just getting rolling. I did a site for like 500. I was like, oh, sweet. You know, I was like, it's going to be easy. That was the biggest pain in the ass fucking client I've ever had. Crazy.
Selling is all I ever done in the first 10 years of having.
Sometimes you have to. I mean, that you're getting paid for experience. Not that much, but it can be good. But
it was. But a guy I know last night, he's been in the SEO game for about 2 years now. And he says, Craig, I don't even know why I'm agreeing to do these fucking websites.
Yeah.
He says, I'm pulling my fucking hair out my head. He says, I've got SEO clients that I probably spend 10 hours a month on.
Yep.
He says, these fucking websites, you could be spending 10 hours a day on them, fighting back and forth.
He needs to hire a real web developer and put them in direct contact with them and pay the web developer well. Make sure they do a decent job.
Yeah, it's fucking horrendous.
That's it. Yeah. But I mean, a lot of times they with SEO, you need a developer anyway, because like, oh, this site is broke AF, so you've got to go in and untangle shit. Actually, what I would do is I would try and not commoditize it to the point where like you can go anywhere and get this. I want them to know that I am one of the only people in the world that can do X, Y, and Z. And that's what I'm going to do, because that's what I do best. So I would go into a niche that I know. I would offer something that very few people offer, and then go from there. And I want to make that offer something that I have, at least while I'm under contract, complete control over. Like, no more bullshitting around with like their primary money site. Like they could. A funny story. This is what led me to looking at like this and taking this angle. So I was working with an addiction treatment facility. They had multiple facilities. So I said, okay, for the budget that you want to hit, you can't pay, they couldn't pay over X amount, or they didn't want to, they could. We're going to focus. You've got like 5 or 6 sites, 2, maybe 3 are worth of shit. Okay. So we're going to focus on 2 at a time. Once we get those up to where we're happy with them, then we're going to do some work on this other one, because it's more localized. Then you've got 3 out of, they probably had like 6, 10 sites, 6, 10 facilities. But I mean, they were smaller, weren't doing much. But I said, if we start with these sites, it's a fresh start. It's going to take 6 months to ramp up. If we start with these sites, we're already at a sprint, and we can take it and we can, turn it into Usain Bolt. So start with like the first 2 sites. They sold the fucking facility for the one. So we lost that site. Well, shit. So we had to, we geared up for that site. So I'm like, okay, we've still got this main one that we've been gearing up for. We'll just switch it over to this other one. The other one like took off. It was local. They were offering outpatient, which not a ton of affiliates in outpatient because it doesn't pay. So it was relatively easy. So then we had the 2 sites again. So we're gearing up both of those. Guess what? They sold another one of the fucking facilities. So we lost that site. I'm like, well, so within 6 months, we had to restart like 2 or 3 times because they kept selling the facilities. If I were to go back in there, I'd say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to build this network of sites that you're going to own. And they're not going to be, it might say associated with XYZ company at the bottom or whatever, but the overall branding is not going to be your brand. It's going to be a secondary brand. That way you can't sell the shit out from underneath me, and we can just build up. All they care about is calls, getting people with insurance in the door, getting admits, all that stuff. As long as they're getting that, then they're happy. You can keep them for however long you're providing that. So that's what I would do. And that's something that no one else, not many people are going to be able to do. Like, we've been doing it for this stuff for what we said, 2 or 3 years. A few people have 4 sites. A few people have, I know Maeve has 10 sites. Imagine if you're doing 1 site a month, getting a site up and running for a company a month, how much you could, and then you're maintaining that, and you're adding another site, and then another site, and then another site. How much could you charge for that in a decent niche, So think about that. Yeah. That's what I would do. If I was starting from scratch, I would just whore myself out to an industry that I knew.
Hopefully that helps you, David, with some advice. Abhay is asking, outbound links like Wikipedia or other high authority sites in your article or blog, does that help with your SEO? Is that something you do?
On occasion. If you look at the big dogs in addiction, they all do it. So it's not necessarily, I've got to link out to Wikipedia. They do like citations at the bottom. Like, you're writing a term report in college, and you're citing your sources at the bottom. That's how I would do it. Cite to stuff that's, 1, non-competitive, and 2, it makes sense to do so. So do that.
Cool. Guys, do put other questions in the chat. We're here for another 25 minutes. So also
I got something I can show the people that have been building networks too when we get a moment.
Yeah, go for it.
The hell is my wife sending me? You want to throw me the screen?
Just click present down there.
No, I want you to throw it to me.
I can't throw it to you. That is not how this works. This is not Microsoft Teams.
Dun, dun, dun.
Screen.
There we go. Can you see it?
Yes.
All right. E-draw. You remember this bad boy? Manage the comments for me. So here is what we're going to do. And here, let me take it down a second. The reason why I'm showing this is now as opposed to in the beginning, because I remember I mentioned Jimmy and he was all about DAS, but he did it with 2.0s. Don't fucking do that anymore. But the reason why I'm showing this interconnecting of your mini net sites and everything, when you build a site, build out your network, you should be building on different hosting so you can do this down the road. The DAS component or the interlinking component, the stacking, is not step one. You want to build out these individual money sites, is step one. Get one going, get another going. Once you have 4 or 5, 10, whatever, then you can start interlinking them and really powering it up. But initially, I don't want, like, because I saw it when Jimmy was teaching it back in the day. People would get into this middle masturbation thing and like go out and like try and build a network day one. You need to build up your individual network sites first and then zoom out and say, okay, how could I interconnect these and really push? Like, this is perfect for client work. This is perfect for if you have your own money site, but especially in client work. And whose question was it earlier? David's question a second ago is like, how would I do it? And this is part of the reason why I would niche down, because I can stay in the same niche. I can build up these network sites. And then if I get a client, these network sites already have money coming in. They've got calls, they've got traffic, they've got all that stuff. So, but if, do I have to take the screen again? Or can you see it? All right, share my screen, show my screen again. There we go.
Go.
All right, can you see this?
Yes.
All right, so imagine each one of these circles is a network site. Like if you're building out your mini net, disregard any of these arrows. That's what you're going to do first. You're going to start ranking this mini net about, if these are all substance abuse, of course. So if I was doing counseling, I would do like substance abuse counseling or anything like that. I would be building out core, like pillar content. I would be throwing AI content on there for support. I would probably be throwing spun content that is SERP Shaker, the geo-based content, be building out directories. For sober living, I might scrape a shit ton of sober living facilities, import those into a directory plugin. There's my site. Wait for it to index, see where it ranks, start linking to it. You can start optimizing the individual pages. It's going to generate calls. Same thing with alcohol, detox. You just want to build up these different site types. And then say you buy this nice domain from Otis or niche website builders, and you're like, I'm going to make this more white hat. Of course, linking to it with network sites makes it gray hat automatically. But or you've got a client that you need to rank relatively quickly. Then you can start linking over to the client site and start interlinking these. Also, you've got tier 2. Remember, we say each one of these is a money site, like in and of itself is a money site. So of course you're going to naturally have tier 2s, tier 3s going to them. You want to build out your entity. You mentioned EAT earlier, and we had a question about EAT. You want to build out that entity around each one of them. That's why I don't like mentioning this until you've got a few of these built out, because you're going to try and do all this shit at one time, and you're going to get overwhelmed as crap, because it is overwhelming. But if you zoom back in to just the counseling or just the sober living, and you knock these out like one a month, one every 2 months, one every quarter, whatever pace you want to go, then you're going to build a monstrous network that you can start boosting up. Because if you imagine this, you've got this counseling site built, right? Mm-hmm. You've been linking to it. You've got your tiers going to it. And then this tiering, this linking is automatically, once you start interconnecting them, is automatically going to help this alcohol site, that helps this detox site, pushes, of course, to the money site, helps the sober living site. So this is the nuclear component of, once you get to this point for your network. That's why we say build a network, focus on a single niche. You could do this for pest control. You could do it for water damage. You can do it for any of the local niches that you want. You could, I'm sure someone that's huge into affiliates could look at this and be like, okay, I can have, like, what's an affiliate niche that's popular right now? I don't even know. Craig, do you know? Just think of one.
Crypto?
Yeah, say crypto. So you could have this one being about just Coinbase news, or you could have this one to be about Ethereum, and this one's Bitcoin. And of course, I don't know much about the crypto market. You could have one of these just pulling in feeds from all these different crypto news sites, and that's how it's filling out the site. And then it's distributing to its entity, its network of social sites, and it's building the DA. You're sending links to individual internal pages in the site, and you're boosting everything up. So, and another big thing that when this initially was talked about, and it was being talked about with 2.0s, you're linking, all of these are linking from the homepage, right? Don't do that, because you're linking to these anyway. These should all be internal pages. So this could be some article about substance abuse counseling on the internal page that links over here. It could also, this link over here could be from another internal page on the site. If it had a third one going from the money, going to the ultimate money site or the client site or whatever, then it could be from another page. But I would probably include them all from within the same cluster. So this is how you amplify your network once you get to that point. But build them out individually before you start interconnecting them. I used to freaking go through, and I would have this whole network built in like a week or maybe a month at most. But yeah, it's rushed at that point. You're not going to do the tiering like you should. You're not going to treat it like a money site. It's just a network site at that point. Make everything make money for you, so you can treat it like a money site. You can tier it, and then worry about this down the road. So this is how you build assets for clients too. Imagine if I had someone on a 12-month contract and built one of these every 2 months for them. And at the end, they got 6 of these networks or network sites, and they can use them how they wish. And this is going to avoid you having to deal much with. Have you ever worked with a larger company, Craig, that had internal SEOs on board? Yes. This is how you get around that. Oh, we're not going to touch your site. We're going to build you the assets, and it's going to help you push your site. If you don't want to link it to your core money site, you don't have to, but you're going to be generating leads, generating traffic, generating XYZ off of this. And it's just a network of assets that you've got that we can hand over to you at that point. Just make it like a project-based SEO contract. So this is nuclear. Have fun with it.
David Hennessy has a quick question.
Yeah.
If it's not Web 2.0s, what are you using for the mini nets? Expired domains?
Yeah, go through the MiniNet course. You can use 2.0s in your link building if you want. Like one of those circles could be a 2.0, but it's going to be more powerful if you start. So look at seed sites like the Ahrefs method for finding expired domains. Expired domains I love because they're quicker. You can go through auction sites, all of those. I think didn't Niche Website Builders talked about what they look for in a domain, like a site, right?
Yeah.
Use that. If you've got the budget for it, I would spend 1 to 2K on the site. If you don't have the budget for it, go for like the 50 to 100. And if you're really just starting out, then take your time and pick out really good expired domains that have links going to them, because you're going to start linking to these anyway, and go from there. So
Darren Muzzy says, so how are you keeping the cost down on doing each of these sites? This could get out of hand cost-wise, right?
If you look at it and you're just doing it with expired domains, then you're looking at, so go to Microhost is a cheaper PBN style hosting. It's $2 a site. So say we're starting with the network of 5 sites, like I just showed. And that's pretty, you can rank for most local, like if you have a local lawyer, you can rank for most of their shit with 5 sites if you do it like that. So you've got 5 sites, it's $2 a month for each site for Microhost. So you're looking at $10 a month for that. And then if you're finding decent expired domains, the way that we've showed on this show in the past and in the MiniNet method course and various other ways, you can get them for $10. So you're looking at $50 there. So for the first month, you're looking at what did I say, $60? That's it. So I don't know what out of control is for you, Darren. Everyone's got different budgets, but I would start there. And then once we get up and running, I'm not doing this with all Otis domains, you know. So some might be GoDaddy auction, some might be NameJet, some might be, where else you can use Spamzilla, you can use Ahrefs, you can use Scrapebox, all of those. Yeah, there's a number of ways to build out a cheap network. So that's it.
Site build wise, Darren Muzzy, Slurp Ninja will build out a network site for $43.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, go to Fiverr and have a website build for cheap. So what I do is I have a handful of themes that I know how to build shit out quickly. And another factor when I'm looking at network sites is I check the way back. Can I rebuild a number of pages from way back? If I have 2 sites that, like, power wise or whatever, backlink wise, they look pretty equal, like the trust flow, the DR, the referring domains, you know, everything else equal. And I have to pick between the 2. I'm going to pick the one with a better way back, because then that's, in my opinion, free content that you can pull through.
But one other thing I would say to someone like Darren, not specifically at Darren, but anyone who thinks that the costs of this is going to get out of hand, see if your PBN or your MiniNet or whatever you want to call it does pay for itself. You're not doing it properly. That is the big thing.
Yeah. Start with 1, get it, make that one profitable, move to 2. Make that one profitable, move to your 3rd one. That's why I say don't plan on interconnecting these. To be honest, I'm lazy and I don't interconnect most of my stuff because I don't need to. They're all making a ton of money, and I don't really need to go back through and do this. But if you really need the power and you really need to take things nuclear, that's when you can look at that.
Brad is also that lazy. He doesn't even know what half of his fucking websites are.
Yeah. I know what I'm working on right now. And then I can go through my call tracking. I'm like, yep, looks good. So
this works for e-com. Yes, Javier.
Especially, I know a lot of the shopping carts, you can use, what is it, the headless, whatever. Mike talks a lot about it, like BigCommerce. You can take that and make multiple sites out of it with the same, you can have the same backend on it. So Flavia, find them, like if you're doing say you've got a major health and beauty site, right? So you might have a site that's all about mud masks. So say you're looking through GoDaddy auctions and you find like Mud Mask Central and it's got all these sweet backlinks and It's only like $50 you can pick it up for, and you grab that. It's like mudmaskcentral.com. I'm just making shit up. Then you could, link that over to your main health and beauty site, to the mud mask section, and then on to the next one. Maybe you've got, a pimple cream. I don't know. I'm not a big health and beauty guy. Like vitamin C serum. You find a sweet expired domain that's all about vitamin C serum, and you build that out. You've got auto content generating, and then you link that over. That's how I would do it. And then I would have a miniature set, like just that category from my product line on that vitamin. Like I would have all my best vitamin C, or all of my vitamin C serums on that site, and it's all connected in the back end to the same platform for fulfillment, and that's it.
And do you ever use SERPshaker on these sites?
If I was doing ecom?
No,
or just networking? Oh yeah, nothing changes in the way I build out mini nets. You just interconnect them. Yeah, SERPshaker equals more traffic.
Maeve is saying, how much content do you put in each site? A complete cluster for info sites?
Yeah, I would probably at least do a cluster. I would go through and if you go to any, of course I do mainly substance abuse sites. So I go and I look at how the bigger sites are clustering, and I take one of their clusters out and I build that on my own site. So if I want to do like benzo treatment, I'll see what the big guys, like everything that they've written about benzo addiction and stuff like that. I'll want to grab that, spin it, and throw it on my site, and it'll get traffic. And then once I get that base of content on there, then that's when I'm going to come in with the SERPshaker stuff and go keyword plus geo. And I'll put anywhere from like 3,000 to 6,000 SERPshaker pages on the site. So then you're building out a pretty monster network. Then once stuff starts to come up, that's where your comments come into play. Freaking to the city pages, link to that with comments if you want. You're not. What are you going to do? Burn that city page? Who gives a shit? So,
David saying, what would be the minimum DA you would?
I primarily look at referring domains, so I like to keep it above. I would preferably like to keep it above 10 if I'm going for cheap expired domains. But if I'm only paying $10 for it, I can go down to 5 referring domains, but those domains better be from sites that are completely niche specific, that I can't really easily go out there and get like a rehab.com or something like that I'm going to need verification for. And if they have a local entity built around it as well, like I see a bunch of just the basic citations built to that site, better believe I'm going to optimize it for that city at the very least, because you're going to get calls from that. So
Flavia and Darren have certain questions. We'll go with Flavia first. So Flavia saying brand and city or product and city when you work on
probably product and city, because no one's going to be searching for the brand plus city. Like if I'm doing a CBD site, I want to do buy CBD in city state. If I'm doing a crypto site, I want to do buy Bitcoin in city state. I had a whole network of that, and it all redirected to a Coinbase affiliate, where if they sign up, they got $10 in free Bitcoin. I got $10 in free Bitcoin, and that's how it built up.
And Darren is asking, have you ever done this with a new domain and targeting a keyword and city exact match type of domain?
You could do that, include that somewhere in the network, but I wouldn't build a network completely out of that, because like I said, imagine it as like a 100-yard dash or 100-yard sprint. When you buy an expired domain, you're starting at, depending on how powerful it is, you're starting like 10 yards ahead or 20 yards ahead or 30 yards ahead, or like with an Otis or a niche website builder domain, you're starting at like the 50-yard line as opposed to the starting block initially. So that's how I look at it. So include that within your cluster, and use your other network sites to build that up as well. And it's of course going to be more powerful.
But Darren, on that question, that is exactly what I done 15 years ago. And we were talking about it earlier.
Still works.
Match domain name, fucking grab them all, whack it out, and it just generated leads. It just ranked with a page of content on it. It was fucking frightening. But got a little bit more difficult than that now. But nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with it back in the day. But we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, include it in the middle of the cluster, and then it'll boost shit up, and it'll help to boost up other stuff. It's going to add relevance regardless. So I'd probably pick a larger city if you can find one. And a lot of times you can find them with links within like GoDaddy or any of the other ones. Throw it in Spamzilla or find something in Spamzilla. Honestly, going back on it a little bit, if you can pick something up that's EMD versus you can pick something up that already has links and they're the exact same price, I'd probably go with the one that has the links before anything. So if I'm just shit out of luck and I can't find anything that day, maybe I'll go and grab an EMD, throw it into the network. Otherwise, I'm going to grab something with links because they have local relevance. Most of them do anyway. Like I said, if it's got Yellow Pages, Dex knows, all of those citations, all from like a single state or a single city, I'd much rather have that versus the EMD because it's going to have that topical relevance externally, not just internally.
And Darren's saying, I've seen people he's still seeing people ranking them. So
I do too, yeah.
Can work very, very well. And actually, Darren, what I would say is obviously back in the day when we used to do this, it worked very well. Then it became a point where Google gave no weight to an exact match domain. I think there is.
It goes in, it goes like this, all the time. It's a pendulum.
Nowhere near what it once was, but I think there's
actually landed on one. It had a map listing, which would have been cool. So it was Philadelphia. It was a larger one. I can't remember what keyword it is, whether it was drug rehab, addiction, whatever. But I found it, and when I clicked on it from the maps, it was a GoDaddy site. Hey, you like this site? It's for sale. One of those. I was like, oh, that's sweet. So I filled out their form to see what it was, and the GoDaddy guy called me. He's like, hey, you filled out the form? I said, yeah. I was like, how much they want for it? $2,000, just because it was an EMD. No, like maybe one or two links, like one or two referring domains. I said, that's a little rich for that. He's like, well, we've got sites selling for domains like similar to this, he was just trying to sell me, selling for, a lot more. I think this is a really good deal. I said, yeah, but without the referring domains, it's only he didn't know I knew what I was talking about. I was like, it's only, the value is only based upon the EMD, and I'm not interested in that. He's like, oh, I can see you know what you're talking about. Never mind, sir. And then like on to the next sucker. So, but yeah, you can find them all day.
Maeve is asking, what about domains which have been spammed? Avoid. I do.
You can, if you want to just roll the dice, like if it's on the edge, grab it, rebuild it really quickly. Don't put a ton of time into building it out, but put some content up that's like a lower hanging fruit, like a long tail. See if it ranks for it. If it starts ranking for it, then I continue building it out. If it doesn't, then just throw it in the gutter and go buy another. So
Flavia.
Yeah. Especially if you're doing any kind of like real estate SEO, neighborhoods rank like fucking crazy. But yeah.
Be all over them. Not the neighborhoods could probably potentially bring in more traffic in the city overall. So people are very, very specific in the way it's search. And Darren agrees.
I don't know what he agrees with, but I'm glad you agree, Darren.
But I think this is obviously a topic that people massively overcomplicate.
It is. That's why the ability to zoom in and out is going to help exponentially on that on that graph, right? So if you can zoom in and just focus on the one site, build it out, get it profitable, and then zoom out once you have a few of these up and running and be like, okay, where can I move these different pieces around? Then it makes it a lot easier. The ability to zoom in and out is going to help you exponentially.
But I'm just going to share. I don't know how relevant it is, but I'm going to fucking share it anyway. I have a old blog post on a lot of this shit and footprints to avoid and all the usual pish. If you ever want to check that out, as well as the guys' free course on this stuff, because it was once my favourite topic. My first speaking gigs, actually, Brad. I think I overdone the PBN talks. I think that was all I was ever known for. It was just a dirty PBN guy.
Yeah.
So I stopped talking about it for many years.
They're not even that dirty.
Nah, that's the thing.
You know? Well, it's funny because people think stuff like that is like black hat or dirty. No, that's spreading your bets. Like building out a PBN the way we show it is in the mini net style is spreading your bets. You're not 100% dependent on one fucking site. Like where, like if that site goes down, I might as well just get a rope and tie it around my neck and jump out the window. Because I know some people that like they'll reach out and they have fucked themselves royally by going that route. That's not how we operate. So
nah, it's
black hat is hacking into people's site and putting your links in there.
And even at that, that's quite mild. Yeah. But guys, we are out of time. That was a fairly quick hour.
I had something prepared this time.
I've been to expensive webinars. So maybe one of the best SEO lessons I've been to. Expensive webinars and didn't get that much information. Thank you, Flavia. Tell your friends about us.
I felt like dropping some stuff. If anyone has any other questions, or if you're watching the replay and have questions, just come back next week. We'll try and get them answered. But yeah, simple stuff. Zoom in and out. That's it.
Minionettraining.com, guys.
Look at my fat ass in there. I look terrible. Really do. I need to redo that just for that fact. I wish I hadn't had the camera on. It would be good, but I don't feel like redoing it either, though, because that sounds like effort, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Is there not some AI shit that could maybe stick your current head on or some shit like that?
It's my body and everything. It's terrible.
Mininet t-shirt idea. I'm assuming that Stephen Buchanan does t-shirts, right?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Give me one made, Steve. I'll pay you for it. Send me a link.
Yeah, send me a link as well, Stephen. I like fun t-shirts. Anyway, next week, guys. See you later on.
Later.